If you had a perfect business, what would the organizational chart look like? Not names, but roles. I have 12 right now, different companies.
Have you been officially diagnosed with ADHD, or is it just
not
apparent to the
officially.
rest of
Yeah, exactly. Okay. We realized one day my team came to me and said, hey, we got 2 weeks of runway left, we're out of money. What do you mean we're out of money? Like, how can we be out of money? We have 800, some whatever at the time, people paying hundreds of dollars a month. I'm proud that I built those 3 companies with, less than a couple hours a week.
All right, we're here in Cabo with Beardy Brandon Turner, famous on Instagram for both real estate and notorious beard. Amazing dude who helps people do their first real estate deal.
Yep.
And then turn that into a bit of an empire. Is that right?
That's it.
And we're going to talk about starting, growing, and scaling. Let's go this way. A coaching biz. But first, coffee. Is that okay?
First coffee.
All right. So before we order coffees, when you were a kid, what do you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a math teacher, actually.
No.
Yeah, high school calculus was my favorite class. Yeah. Math teacher.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm glad I didn't do that.
I'm glad you didn't do that too.
And I almost went to law school. Almost. I was going to be a lawyer.
So, okay, because you're blowing my mind right now. None of that even vaguely reflects.
Yeah, to what I'm doing today.
Well, not just what you're doing, but like how
Yeah.
How
Could you imagine this is the lawyer? Yeah. Oh, wouldn't have worked well.
Okay, so I've got so many questions. Is it the classic case of did it, then other people wanted to know how I did it, so I started to teach them how I did it?
Pretty classic, yeah. I was studying for law school.
Yeah.
I buy a house.
Yeah.
Just a dumpy, nasty little house. Fixed it up. Didn't know what I was doing. I feel bad for the person who bought it eventually, but I fixed it up, rented out all the bedrooms to buddies, and in that process, as I'm studying for law school, I decided to sell the house, and I made $20,000. And I thought that was way easier than being a lawyer. Yeah. So I call my dad and I tell him that, and he tells me I'm gonna fall, like my life's gonna fall apart.
Right.
Terrible idea.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Go to law school the way you're supposed to do it. Get a job. And so he's like, what are you gonna do if a tenant doesn't pay rent? So I Google what to do if a tenant doesn't pay rent.
Yeah.
And I find there's a whole bunch of information online. And I thought, there you go. I'm gonna do that instead. So that's what I did.
That's amazing. So when did Better Life start?
But I started on top of a mountain 3 years ago in Colorado. I met Tim Tebow. Do you know Tim Tebow, football player, American? Yeah, I met that guy, and he just blew my mind with how horrible the world is with human trafficking. And so I said, I'm going to build a mastermind that gives money away to charity for that.
So there's 3 programs.
Yep.
One of them does really well, but makes no money.
Yeah.
Please explain.
They all do pretty well. They all do pretty well, and they all make a little bit of money. One's obviously much better. So the newbie group, which is for new people.
Yeah.
It's called First Deal.
Yeah.
That one does really well because it's a clear, it's like first deal. Get your first deal. We guarantee it.
Yeah.
Simple.
When I mean makes no money, I don't mean.
Yeah.
I mean the money's for a purpose.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that one does really well, makes good money. This middle one, Better Life, makes me no money at all. It makes money.
On
We donate. What?
Yeah, deliberately.
Yes. Yeah, because 100% of profits we send to charity. So things that fight human trafficking. So we have 800-ish members in there, and anywhere $300 to $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of expenses in that, but it's a solid group. We teach people how to scale.
Yeah.
And I've got a high-end group that's 50,000. Got about 40 guys in there. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
Start at the top of the mountain. The journey to the back to the top of the business mountain is never smooth. There's some cliffs we fall down.
So many.
Right. What's like one stupid rock you tripped over, a dumb mistake you made that you learned something from?
Ooh. Oh, so many. Let's start with when I first launched. This is actually a specific problem to me, but I had a big audience to begin with. I had a podcast previously that was pretty big.
Got it.
I had a large Instagram. So I launched very big.
Yeah.
And very good. I had a good launch. I didn't know what the product was. So it makes sense to launch a product and you figure it out along the way. And like, yeah, people forgive you. We launched with 700 members day one and paid members. And then we didn't know what to give them.
Of course.
And so it was, that was a mistake. We stumbled for a year. We lost probably 80% of our members over that year trying to figure out what to do.
We just sold this thing. What the hell is it?
Yeah, not that I would have started smaller. Like it gave a lot of good testing. I lost, I think, some reputation of the group because I didn't know what the product was.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
So would you call it a mistake or a learning lesson or just fast iteration? I don't know. But
yeah,
we're figuring the product out as we go. We've iterated 500 times and getting better every time.
I think Boardroom's on like version 17.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I totally get that. Can we please get cappuccino?
Small cappuccino.
A small cap and a single espresso? Dude, he knows what a flat white is. I'm so glad. Okay, so while he's making, we've got about 90 seconds.
Okay.
I want to know, there was a moment before we started working together that something was going on in the business that made you go, crap, I could use some help.
Yeah.
What was like, what was the moment where it was like, okay.
Yeah, we realized one day in the charity one, the larger one that was a charity, we realized one day my team came to me and said, hey, we got 2 weeks of runway left. We're out of money.
Oh.
And I said, well, what do you mean we're out of money? Like, how can we be out of money? We have 800, some whatever at the time, people paying hundreds of dollars a month. We have ridiculous amounts of money. He's like, I don't know. Yeah, we're out of money. And I was like shocked, right? So I started digging into the numbers and just realized that I was doing that thing where they call it like bank account operations or whatever. I look at the bank account, I say there's a lot of money in there, let's go.
Yeah.
Not realizing like you sell a product, whatever it was at the time it was $3,000.
Yeah.
Way too little probably, but we sell a product and now we got to deliver on that for the next 12 months. And those are expenses along the way. So you get a big chunk, but you have to spend it out.
Yeah.
We also, here's a great analogy. I buy houses, I fix them up, right?
Yeah.
So I go into a house and I tell a contractor, I'm like, oh, we could have like, raise the ceiling, it'd be so cool. We could paint these walls, we could rip out all the cabinets.
Yeah.
You're all jiving, you're feeling good. You leave the house and the contractor goes to work. What did you never do? Set a budget. You gave him a vision with no budget. And so you come back 12 months later and the things, so I'm really good at vision. I can see like this, I was like, we're gonna have 10,000 people at this much. So they built a company, my team built a company based on my vision, not based on where we were right now.
Yeah.
So we had 8 web developers, 8 full-time web developers that I didn't even know was happening. A lot of lessons learned in there. So we had
Are you in a different place now?
much different way now. Yeah, we're profitable. Yeah, thank you. Profitable and giving away money. So that's great.
That's amazing. All right, here's our drinks.
Ooh, there we go.
This is you.
All right.
Gracias.
That's cute.
This is his, this is mine. Yeah,
Yes.
it is cute. Okay, so went from like big rev, but 2 weeks of runway to profitable and etc.
Yeah.
What are 3 tactical things that people need to know about how to grow a business that makes and keeps money?
Yeah, I'm gonna say number 1, be lean, leaner than I think you need to be.
Yeah.
Number 2 is nobody's gonna care about the finances of your business like you do. Yeah, I just trust it. I mean, I have a finance guy, CFO, I got everybody, but most people go out there and they just look at the numbers and they tell you the bottom number.
Yeah.
It's your job to make decisions. So I abdicated when I should have delegated.
Gotcha.
So don't abdicate, delegate.
Yeah.
And the third one is like, I should have, I'm gonna say that I built fewer businesses. I have 12 right now, different companies. And so like my focus is just,
have you been officially diagnosed with ADHD or is it just
not
apparent to the
officially,
rest
it's
of
just, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Everyone knows. I lost my sunglasses twice this week. So
That's normal.
that ADHD, that's what we do.
I reckon we go here. This is a great little spot. To you.
Cheers to you.
Okay, can we talk? You've got this big Instagram.
Yep.
And it's an asset that you leverage.
Yes.
Any tips for going on social?
I'm very consistent with it. Like if I look at my growth, I've never really had a viral video. I mean, I've had a couple that have gone really well and they didn't add anybody to me. So there's never, if you look at my numbers, like the graph over 10 years, there's no pop.
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years of Instagram, right? There's no pop. So it's like, what's the secret to success? Just do the boring stuff 10 years in a row and somehow it seems to work out. So number 1 was just being consistent for 10 years. I post 3 times a day.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, 3 times every single day. So 21 posts a week.
How do you post 3 times a day?
Is
someone listening to this going,
yeah.
Holy crap, that's a lot. I can do it.
So I have a guy who helps with it for sure. What I did is I spec'd out, I sat down and I put a schedule. I said Monday at 9, Monday at noon, Monday at 3.
Yeah.
Tuesday at 9, Tuesday at noon, Tuesday at 3. And then I said, what is that post? I said, tweet, podcast clip, tweet carousel.
Yeah.
And then this was a big help was like, let's say Tuesday at 9. I said, I go back 16 weeks.
Yeah.
I say, what's the best performing post of any kind that week?
Yeah.
And then at Tuesday at 12, there's another thing. So, I mean, there's 20 different types of posts you can put on Instagram. So I just did that. And then we just optimized. So at the end of the day, I only have to actually I spend maybe 30 minutes a week on my social media. And then I have 1 full-time employee who runs that.
And their job
is running the machine. And then we take it in LinkedIn, YouTube, the whole thing.
I love it. Okay, so that's little marketing tip. Figure out your posting cadence.
Yeah, and it's really easy
Find
at that
formats.
point. Yeah.
And as soon as you can, get somebody else to manage it.
Yeah. Oh, another tip that I do, I scroll way too much TikTok, Instagram, Reels. I get sucked into it, right? But I have a bookmark for post to mimic. I call it post to mimic.
Yes. Okay.
So anytime I see a post that I'm like in another niche that I'm like, I like that, I just put it in the bookmark thing, and then my team just says, okay, this week we're recording these 4 based on what you already said you wanted.
Yeah.
We're just going to translate it to real estate.
I think a lot of people like consume on social rather than like if you use social media as a creator, you're like, oh, I like that. This is useful.
Yeah, and then it shows you more of that because you like it.
100%.
So,
and doing it outside your niche is really smart.
yeah. I don't want to rip off people in my, because then everyone's like, hey, people do that to me. I mean, people copy my niche, copy myself, and everyone's like, that was Brandon's idea. And I don't want people to think that about me. So I'd rather steal your idea, and then nobody's ever heard of you in my niche, and so it's perfect.
Yeah. You saying I'm not the big deal.
In my niche.
Okay. So that's marketing. Anything you've learned that you think would be helpful in terms of sales or delivery of a coaching program?
Yeah, let's go sales. We hired a third-party sales team that do the sales for like 5, 6 other people in my industry.
Yeah.
And so they do all the big guys, and so they do us. And so that was super easy. That's one of the easiest things I've done. Now they're expensive for sure, but they're phenomenal. Now, if I can do sales less and do no sales, that will save me a lot of money. I'm going to test that out.
Yep.
But that is the easiest thing I ever did, was plugged in the right people that already had tons of experience.
Yeah.
Even though they're expensive.
Yeah.
And just let them cook. And they've been phenomenal. So I've never had a sales call once in any of the companies of these ones. Yeah. So I've never sold one product myself.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's been fun. Even the 50K product, I did, that one was really salesless. Actually, I have no sales guy for that one. I just had a long website. So you can check out my copy if anyone wants to. WhatisThe50.com. But like, it's like, what is the 50? You read it. It starts with, this is something cool and secret and probably not for you.
Yeah. And
then it just goes on. It's expensive. It's,
a
lot of travel. It's not for you.
Yeah.
However, and then it continues with the copy. So that worked out really well. And then, when it comes to delivery, I've just tested a lot of things.
What's your favorite like client delivery format or favorite thing you do?
Right now, I teach a class once a week for that tribe, the Better Life Tribe, which is the middle one, the charity.
Yeah.
Every week, it's like I'm a pastor of a church delivering a sermon every week. So I just go on there, I teach supposed to be 20 minutes. I go for an hour every week, brand new topic, all on the idea of how to scale. So everything's a scalable thing. I can be teaching about how to hire a VA. I can teach about, whatever, how to build up a funnel for your real estate. Doesn't matter, every week. And then I define the next 52 weeks for people. Right. So my goal with the sales list approach, and why I believe it's going to work really well, is if I go to a real estate investor who's already doing lots of deals, and I say, hey, do you want to learn from Brandon Turner every week for 52 weeks? Here's what he's teaching.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite thing in the world to do, is sit there and talk for an hour and then do Q&A for 30 minutes or whatever. It's an hour and a half call. So however that mixes. That's my favorite thing. Fires me up.
Yeah.
Sells well. So I think that's going to be really, it's fairly new. We've only been doing it a month now, but I love it.
Yeah. So you talked before about like modeling somebody else's outside your niche actual thing. We're in this boardroom squad together.
Yep.
Who's someone who you, who's inspired you, or you've learned something from, or you borrowed an idea from?
I knew him before Boardroom, but Lior Weinstein, what a smart guy. I love Lior. Just the way he's built so quickly his company without the audience that I had. Like I have like the hot girl benefit, right? Like it's like him. Well, when you have a girl who's just unbelievably beautiful, right? Like just everything in life is easier for her.
Yeah.
When you have a large social media following, everything's
easier. Ugly?
No. He is small social media beautiful.
Yeah.
And he is incredible at business. So he has done what I've done even bigger in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Just from brilliance and AI. So the way he uses AI in his business and the way that he runs his metrics, that's probably the biggest thing I saw him, is I looked at his spreadsheet, how he keeps track of the KPI.
Yeah.
Super impressed. I mean, like,
I heard
impressive.
King of the spreadsheets hasn't printed out on his bed sheets. Do you think that's true?
I believe that.
Yeah. What are you most proud of?
I'm proud that I built those 3 companies with, less than a couple hours a week. It's like, there's not a lot of things I'm great at, but I'm pretty great at just getting other people to do things and then getting out of their way. I don't micromanage. In fact, I'm the exact opposite, which is what led to some of the financial problems we had.
All right.
So it's, though that same skill set of getting good people, getting out of their way and letting them just cook, that works. There needs to be what I need to come back in with is a level of oversight, in which I have. So I'm proud of that. I feel like I've merged that pretty well.
Yep.
Of how to manage a big company, a fast growing company on just a few hours a week.
What's can you operationalize that for me? Just give us like,
if you
want to I want to manage something,
Yep.
make it grow,
Yep.
but do it in like minimum effective dose time.
Yeah.
Give us a couple of tactics.
Yeah. So there's a management system, operating system called EOS in the book Traction.
Yep.
We operate EOS. When I implemented that in my first business years ago, I mean, it took me from like 40 hours a week to like 5. It was just shockingly different. So everything I build now is in an operational structure like that. Yeah, that's huge. Having an organizational chart or accountability chart, which is part of EOS.
Yeah.
Now it's like, this is like, I think the thing, if you had a perfect business that was just perfect, what would the organizational chart look like? Not names, but roles.
Yeah.
So I would have me. I have an integrator. That's probably the biggest piece. Somebody who puts it all together. I have a VP of what, and then I have director levels. And at the beginning, they're all me.
Yeah, of course.
But I just slowly replace people, and I have a job description for every one of those. Here's what you're responsible for. Here's what the job description is. And then when I meet people in real life, or when I'm desperate for that role, I already know what the job description is. And so I can see people and be like, oh, you'd be great there. Like, let's plug you in there and let's test it. That's the mistake I've made over and over in my life, is getting married before dating. So I've learned you find a way to date with that role. Yeah. For example, the sales team. I put in that third-party sales team, and they're basically VP of sales. Yeah. And if I don't like them, I can remove them and put in somebody else. And then we're dating.
Yeah. All right. Let's land this plane. Somebody's watching this. They're either a newish coach, or they're going okay, but they've hit a bit of a plateau. Some encouragement, like the text message you wish you had received when it was getting hard.
Ooh. Yeah. I'll go with this. You get the results of what you repeatedly do. And I tell myself all the time, like, you never look at a guy with like a perfect 6-pack and big muscles and a great mustache that you're like, wow, I wonder if he just woke up that way today. Like, of course not. Like, in fact, guys that look like that, they would be irritated if you assumed it was luck. Yeah. And we somehow know that about fitness. We somehow don't know that about coaching. And so we look at the guy who's got whatever, 500,000 Instagram followers and makes, millions of dollars on his coaching program. You're like, oh, it feels like luck. And in reality, it's just doing the right things and then some wrong things for a long period of time without giving up. And so just do the repeatable stuff, the boring stuff, and then outsource the boring stuff if you're like you and I.
Yeah.
We do the boring stuff. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Like, get someone else to do the boring.
Get somebody else to do the boring. If there's one success tip, like in life, that would be it, is get somebody else to do the boring work. Like, every great company was just an ADHD founder who got somebody else to do the boring work. And so the sooner you can get out of the boring work and get that systematized, and the shocking thing is, it's not boring to those people. No, they love that 100%. Stuff. Yeah. And that's just such a beautiful thing. We have a whole team of people who are doing the thing that fires them up, aligned in a vision, marching in the same direction, and you're operating your core genius. Oh, magic.
Yeah. All right, you've got a flight to catch. So I'm just going to wish you well.
Thank you.
May your business be as lustrous and glorious as your beard.
Thank you.
Forever.
Thank you.